Namaste yogis. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to be going over one of the foundational poses within our yoga practice, and that being a standing forward fold, also known as Uttanasana. So for today, all you're going to need is a yoga mat, if you have that nearby, or just any surface that you can practice on. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So if you haven't already, come into a standing position. I recommend that you go over the preliminary pose, which is Tadasana mountain pose. I can add the link somewhere around here, and you can check that out. And then we're going to follow up mountain pose with our Uttanasana. So as you're ready to do so, come into your mountain pose, feet hips distance apart, just taking a moment, giving yourself a moment to really root down, connecting to the earth, and connecting to your physical body. Just noticing the physical body, just taking a moment here for yourself. And then as you're ready to do so, with an inhale, allow the hands to come up overhead, pressing the palms together. And then as you exhale, go ahead and fold down towards the earth. So as we're coming into our Uttanasana pose, you have the option, you can either look at me the first time around, or you can follow my cues. But for our Uttanasana, we want to make sure that the feet are hips width apart. And we want to make sure that we're really lifting up through the toes, spreading the toes out wide and pressing the big toe mound into the earth. And we also want to press down the pinky toe mound into the earth, and just making sure that we are really distributing our weight evenly between the foot. Now what's important here is that we lengthen through the spine. We want to make sure that we're really lengthening through the spine here. And what's important in our forward fold is that we're not so much rounding through the back here. We want to instead create length through the spine, and we want to maintain that length within the spine as we hinge down. So if you have a little bit more of, I know when I first started, I had pretty tight hamstrings, which I still somewhat do. So you're more than welcome to bring a bend into the knees, because oftentimes a bend into the knees helps us maintain that length of the spine. Now, as we come into this forward fold, if you have yoga blocks, or if you have like a water bottle, you're more than welcome to use those for support here, again, to make sure that we're maintaining length through the spine. Or if you're a little bit more on the flexible side, you can make the hands come down towards the earth. But again, here we're not going so much towards forcing the body. We really want to meet ourselves where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to grab, I have a little jar here, and I'll just use this little jar for support. I have two jars actually. So already here, these two jars are helping me create that connection, bridge that connection between where I'm at and between the earth beneath me. So now that we're in our forward fold, again, we just want to make sure that the feet are hips distance apart, spreading the toes nice and wide, root the feet down into the earth, lengthen through the spine here, draw your belly button in towards your spine, so engage the core here. This is an active pose through the core. Keep creating length through the spine, and then just allow yourself to gently fold down. The gaze can come a little bit forward and in front, or you also have the option to let the head melt, but not compromising that rounding in the back. So we want to maintain the back nice and straight. And then you can hold here for a few moments, and you just want to be mindful if you have any sort of lightheadedness. You want to make sure that you you come out of the posture gently and take some time. You don't want to have any lightheadedness. So as you're ready to do so, for the sake of just showing the basic demonstration, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time and allow the hands to come back overhead, and then hands can come into your heart or down by your side. If you are lightheaded at any point, you can always bring the chin in towards the chest and just give yourself a moment until the lightheadedness passes. So that does it for our Uttanasana, our forward fold. Always feel free to use props to support you as needed, and always feel free to bring a bend into the legs if you have more tight hamstrings. And yeah, this is a super foundational pose within our yoga practice, and hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Namaste.